is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 9th day of August in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. A Friday afternoon meeting between President David Granger and Opposition Leader Bara Jagdeo has been described by both sides as positive. The meeting between the two leaders addressed a number of issues related to early elections. President Granger said both sides were able to put forward their concerns and issues.
On my side, I pointed out that we were wedded to the view that the list had to be credible, and elections could not be credible without a credible list. So, in brief, we referred to our meeting with the chairman of the Elections Commission on Thursday, and we feel that her request to be given the opportunity to hear the judgment of the Supreme Court and meet with the members of the Commission was a reasonable one, and we would like to engage with her after she's done those two things.
The president said reference was made to the consequential orders of the Caribbean Court of Justice and their respective interpretations. He said the government maintains that the Caribbean Court of Justice did not issue any coercive orders. And the president also said that while he has noted timelines and dates being put forward in the media, he will await the advice of the chairman of the Elections Commission on its readiness.
But we have not altered our positions. The government position has not changed. That we are pursuing a course that can guarantee a credible list and will be the basis of credible elections, and the opposition position has not changed. But we are working towards seeking a common ground so that the Guyanese people can be assured that we will have credible elections in the shortest possible time.
Opposition Leader Bara Jagdeo said the almost 2-hour meeting was a good one. While not divulging details of some of the discussions, he said both sides raised issues of concern that they want to see addressed.
All the discussions were about elections.
What were specifically discussed?
It's early days in these discussions. We use the time to spend clarifying positions on certain issues. So the president laid out his position, and I pointed out our views on the matter. So there were several issues, my views on September 18th deadline. I shared my views on the resignation of the cabinet, on the house-to-house registration and the timeline for that, consistent with the work program of GCOM. And so, and then the president shared his views on similar matters. I think it's early, and we hopefully will meet again sometime soon.
President David Granger was accompanied to the meeting by the Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joe Harmon, while the opposition leader was accompanied by PPP Member of Parliament and presidential candidate for the PPP, Irfan Ali. More news coming up in just a moment.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Hello, baby. Yeah.
It's knocked away from Yang Huang. Yo, why you gotta get away with your credit money? I recommend that you for blah blah, let you watch the game. But it's not you that buy back the credit when it's done. Buy back like a ship money for five. Fab 5?
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Wait. So who we putting as we Fab 5? Yours.
Securing the best healthcare facility for you and your family is important. At Balwant Singh Hospital, we take pride in giving you the best healthcare at unbeatable prices. We offer a 24-hour emergency care, a well-equipped ambulance, the best group of international doctors. Whatever your medical needs are, we are here to make sure you're taken care of like family. From eye care to dental service, the best, most experienced gynecologist, pediatric care, skin care, well-trained radiologist, and a trauma center. Our goal is to get you healthy so you can live a healthier life. Balwant Singh Hospital, caring for you and your family by offering healthcare at unbeatable prices. Live, love, and enjoy life. Call 226-4279 or visit us at 314 East Street, Georgetown. Balwant Singh, best healthcare at unbeatable prices.
The Guyana Elections Commission has commenced the conduct of house-to-house registration in your area. Be on the lookout for the registration officials with authorized identification. You must have relevant original documents to get registered. A birth certificate, valid passport, certificate of naturalization or registration, adoption certificate, marriage certificate, deed poll. Registration is a legal requirement. Make it your responsibility to register. If you were previously registered, you must register again. Look out for GCOM. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0277 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy. Visit the website at www.gcom.org.gy or contact the nearest GCOM registration office.
Welcome back. The People's National Congress Reform has joined Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu in condemning statements made by Commissioner of the Guyana Elections Commission, Says Gunraj, following a meeting with the President and the government team and the Elections Commission yesterday. Following that meeting, Gunraj, who is an opposition-nominated commissioner, said the meeting was a waste of time and complained that he was treated to the same nonsense from the executive. Yesterday, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu called out Gunraj over his statement, describing the commissioner's statement to the media about the meeting as rude and disrespectful. Today, the People's National Congress Reform, which is the largest party in the coalition government, also fired off at Gunraj over his statement. The PNC said the statement was disrespectful, and as a person who holds constitutional office, Mr. Gunraj lacks the appreciation of decency and failed to recognize that the president was showing goodwill and ability to be consultative. The party said it is rather unfortunate that the opposition commissioner cannot relate to those noble values. Gunraj has not budged from his position and his statement about the meeting. The meeting was called by President David Granger to get a briefing from the Guyana Elections Commission on its current work. It was the first interface between the President and the full Commission since a new chairperson was appointed. Turning now to the agriculture sector, sugar workers at the Albion Estate are calling on the Guyana Sugar Corporation to increase their salaries. On Thursday, the workers downed their tools on the first scheduled day of cane harvesting of the second crop. According to a statement from the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, it should not be forgotten that the sugar workers' wages have been frozen since 2015. According to GAWU, the sugar workers are being discriminated against through the denial of pay increases. In addition to that, GAWU complained that they are facing other hardships, including the denial of benefits. The union said the workers are also peeved over the arbitrary hiking of the estate's weekly production targets, and they contend that the increase in the estate's targets from 2,100 tons of sugar to 2,140 tons would be disadvantageous and will prevent the estate from realizing that target. Additionally, the union noted that workers engaged in the mechanical loading of canes are upset regarding what they believe is an unnecessary change in their hours of work. The union said the workers are not happy, and the current situation is not a healthy development. It is calling on the Sugar Corporation to act on the demands of the workers. Turning now to the aviation sector, an incoming American Airlines flight was diverted to Trinidad and Tobago from Guyana's Cheddi-Jagan Airport last evening as the runway lighting system at the local airport experienced some difficulties. In a statement today, the Cheddi-Jagan Airport management indicated that the incident occurred around 11:30 last night. The airport runway lighting system experienced a failure due to a slack cable connection. The airport said a temporary cable was installed to facilitate the works currently taking place on the extended section of the northeastern runway. According to the airport's management, portable runway lights were immediately deployed along the entire length of the runway and facilitated the departure of Suriname Airways just after midnight and the arrival of Caribbean Airlines just after 2 o'clock this morning. The airport said the portable runway lights comply with standards of the International Civil Aviation Organization. The main lighting system has since been repaired. Passengers of American Airlines have since taken to social media to complain that they were taken to Trinidad and Tobago and left stranded at the airport there, with little information on the onward journey to Guyana. It is mandatory for flight crews to take a rest after long flights. Still, passengers complained that more than 9 hours later, they were still stranded in Trinidad and Tobago. American Airlines was expected to fly them into the country this afternoon. Let's tell you now that young people from all across the country started to arrive in Georgetown today for the National Youth Parliament. The event kicks into high gear next week, and there will be 2 sittings, one for secondary school students and the other for university students. The National Youth Parliament is organized by the Parliament's Office of Guyana, and according to the Public Relations Officer Yannick December, a number of topical issues will be discussed during the 2 days of debates among the youth parliamentarians.
Through this forum, right, we want to let them understand that we are watching and we are paying attention. Mind you, Youth Parliament, we stay away from politics. It's nothing political. We debate on issues, or we debate on topical issues that affect us, right? And the thing is, that is where you get the meat of how people really think and feel.
Before they sit down for their youth assembly, the young parliamentarians will receive mentoring from current members of parliament and former members of the National Youth Parliament. In the courts, 36-year-old Marlon Bradley, also known as Mally, hopped his way into the courtroom of Magistrate Leron Daly this morning to face firearm possession charges. The man was reportedly shot to the leg by a policeman during his arrest. He was wanted for questioning related to the murder of a Guyana Park mechanic. That probe is still ongoing. In court this morning, he was slapped with 2 charges related to the possession of a firearm and ammunition without being the holder of a firearm license. The accused told the court that he was not guilty of the crime. He was represented by attorney Dexter Todd, who made a failed attempt to get a magistrate to grant bail. The attorney told the court that he believes the charge was instituted against his client to buy time for the police as they continued their investigation of the murder case. Bail was denied, and the injured man was remanded to jail until the 6th of September, when the matter will continue. Still in the courts, a 25-year-old laborer was this morning charged over the attempted murder of a former friend. The laborer, Trevon Peters, appeared before the chief magistrate and was not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. The charge stated on the 14th of May 2019 in the East Rheinveld area, the accused stabbed the other man, Ovid Barrow, with the intent to murder him. The injured man was taken to the Georgetown Hospital, where he was treated for multiple stab wounds about the body. The 2 men are reportedly known to each other, but had a disagreement earlier this year. It was that disagreement that led to the confrontation. After listening to the facts of the case, the magistrate granted bail to the accused in the sum of $100,000. He will have to report to the police every week throughout his trial. He has also been ordered to undergo counseling and to stay away from the victim. The matter will continue next week. Across the Region is coming up next.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013 with over $10 billion Guyana invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
Summer is just around the corner, and this year we're giving you a Visacation. It's easy. Get your GBTI Visa card and travel to your dream summer destinations or shop all you want online. With Visacation, you get to win prizes when you use your GBTI Visa card between June 1st and August 31st. Don't have a Visa card? Visit your nearest GBTI branch or go to www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
The Hood Family Entertainment and Colgate presents Soca, Sun, and Bacchanal. Daytime party, 3 p.m. until venue, Tucan Mall. Poolside, early bird tickets $1,000. Look out for the bikini babes. Music by DJ Aquilo, DJ Quelly Rag, DJ Breezy, and Selecta Shaka. Ticket location at Kerwin Bryant, Clothes Store, Skelly Dan Barbershop, and KD&J Supermarket. Sun, Fun, and Girls, August 10th.
Across the region right now, former governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Dr. Leslie Worrell, is blaming the public sector in Barbados for the country's failing ranking in the Global Competitiveness Report. And he suggested that until the public sector receives a makeover, then the island will remain uncompetitive. In his August newsletter, the former central bank governor said the main reason that Barbados slipped from number 46 in the global competitiveness rankings to number 72 in the most recent report is the poor performance of the public sector. He said delays in registration and approval processes have robbed the country of over $2 billion of public and private investment in recent years. He said the country would have its first concrete evidence of public sector reform when the first government department or statutory corporation reports on its performance for the last fiscal year. In Jamaica, hundreds of Jamaican college and university students who were banking on landing jobs in the U.S. this summer to save for their tuition have found themselves with neither the promised jobs nor the $1,500 they each paid to secure placement. Through local placement agencies working with approved U.S. sponsors, the students applied to the United States Summer Work and Travel Program, which allows post-secondary students from around the world to work at hotels, beach resorts, amusement parks, restaurants, or national parks across the U.S. for 3 to 4 months. For most of the agencies which recruited onto the program, the process was smooth, and their students are currently in the U.S. But for 6 of them, all of which were paired with the same U.S. sponsor, their recruits have effectively been grounded. It's a crushing blow for the students, 400 in total. Many of them said they borrowed the funds to register in the hopes of recouping the money once they started working. Some even resigned part-time jobs for the promise of increased earnings. And finally, at this time, international news. China has ordered the Hong Kong-based airline Cathay Pacific to suspend any staff who support pro-democracy protests in the territory. Beijing's demand coincided with a peaceful rally at Hong Kong's airport where thousands occupied the terminal. Cathay also faced pressure online after China's state-run press fueled a boycott Cathay Pacific hashtag, which trended on the Chinese social media. Hong Kong has seen weeks of protests over China's control of the territory. The protests began about 9 weeks ago over a proposed extradition bill between Hong Kong and mainland China and evolved into demands for greater freedoms. Hong Kong is part of China, but its citizens have more autonomy than those on the mainland. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.